Hello again, it's Jerry Citarella, as you know, and I'm here with a wonderful guest today, Bronwyn, on my Jerry Citarella Presents show. And don't forget, I'm also partner financial advisor of Prosperitas Financial. I was never mentioning that much, but we might as well talk about what we do. So today is going to be emotional, impactful, rewarding. Did I say informational already?
No, definitely that too, yeah.
Bronwyn has a story that is tough.
Yes.
Not wonderful.
Not wonderful.
But is turning it into something wonderful. So stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. So Bronwyn, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I know we've known each other a while.
Yeah, I think it'll be 6 years this year almost.
Yeah, and we met at a time that wasn't good for you, and we're going to get into that. I don't want to dive right into it, but I know we met at a time that wasn't good for you.
Yeah.
And where you've come is so far.
Yes.
And the fact that what you're doing, which we're going to talk about, sharing your experiences and the way that you're helping other people that went through what you went through is just amazing. So I just want to make sure we say that up front. I'm I don't want to say I'm in awe of you because that's maybe exaggerating, but I'm close. I'm close. It's a huge level of respect. There's those overused words like I'm obsessed and I'm this, and I really respect what you're doing, and I know the people you do it for appreciate it. You've had me at one of your events, and I've seen some of the outreach and some of the feedback, and so I just love it, and I love that you turned something absolutely horrible into something that's good, that's helping other people. So
yeah, no, thank you for saying that. Sometimes I joke like it's turning lemons into lemonade, and I remember you saying at the event that we did how far I'd come, and it really hit me because it did kind of take me back from when I first met you and the person that I've become since then, and it's very interesting how that's transpired, and I think my best advice is use people that you can trust because it's going to help you get through this so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's dive in a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's get the stuff we have to talk about out of the way.
Yes.
I know you're okay talking about it, but you never want to talk about this any more than you have to.
Right.
But you were married to a wonderful gentleman that I never got to.
Oh, you would have loved Sean.
Got to meet, named Sean, and from what I hear, he's a character.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Super smart, unapologetically himself, like just a strong man's man, know.
Okay.
So
hard to find those these days sometimes.
Oh, they are. And I always joked I had to stalk him for 2 weeks to get our second date, and then the poor man couldn't get rid of me. So,
So how'd you guys meet?
We met on Match.
Oh.
Back in the day when it was a decent dating site. I had just turned 30. I was about to throw in the towel. I just was about to give up, and my mother actually told me, try this Match.com. I think it's a good try. So he was one of the first people I started talking to, and instantly I just knew he was different and really liked meeting him. He even said afterwards, he admitted that I was different from other women too.
Okay.
And we were together 8 years. We were together for 4, married for 4, and just built on our relationship. He was a hard nut to crack, but everyone always used to say I was the best person for him because I had the patience to deal with his strong personality. Okay. So we were a little bit of yin and yang, and I think it worked for both of us,
And he was a hardworking guy.
Hardworking guy.
And you guys had a great life, had a home on the river, and you were enjoying yourself, and the future was bright.
Yeah.
And then one day, he was without you.
Without me, yes.
I mean, I'll say fortunately.
Yeah, well, that's one of those things, right? We always have what ifs, but I think in a way it was.
If you were with him and there was a moment different, if you took a moment extra to fix your hair before you got on the boat that he ultimately, so obviously everything could have been different, but big picture, happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So he was boating.
Yeah, it was in summer of 2020. So 2020 was a rough year for most of us. And it was right about the time that he worked for the studios. And it was right about the time they were starting to go back to work and everything. And we had bought property at the river, which was like a blessing. We loved being at the river. It was a happy place. We even joked if we ever had a kid, we were going to call it River because, it was a special place for us.
I have a great niece named River.
Do you really?
Yep, she's adorable. She's got tons of personality. She's River.
I love that. Another connection for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, that weekend he was going to have a boys' weekend, and he was really excited about it. I decided to stay back because I was working at the time, and yeah, sometimes I'm okay talking about it, sometimes I'm not. But yeah, I had talked to him that Friday. It was 120 something degrees, as it usually is at the river.
Mm-hmm.
And he had talked about how he was going to take a nap and they were just having a good time. And I remember trying to call him at 6 o'clock that night. There was something going on with the pool and he didn't answer. I didn't think anything of it. We weren't the couple that were like, what are you doing right now? You know? So went to bed thinking nothing of it. And around 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a loud knocking on my door. And as I got up, because I'm like, what the heck, you know?
Yeah, never a good thing at 2 in the morning.
No, and I'm like, what is happening? And I see flashlights in my backyard. And I thought they were there for my neighbor because he was a little bit of an interesting character. So as I walked downstairs, I opened the front door and I'm like, can I help you? And they're like, yeah, are you home alone? Are you Mrs. Fasulki? And I'm like, yeah, that's me, you know? And they're like, do you know anybody at the river in Havasu? And I'm like, well, we have property close to it. And they said, do you have someone you can call? And I instantly knew this isn't good.
Yeah, call for what?
Yeah, and I was like, what's happened? They're like, we need you to get somebody over here so we can talk to you. And I'm like, okay. So I remember calling my parents. They lived 10 minutes away, and my mom answered, and I was like, you need to get here. The cops are here. Something's happened at the river. And I hung up because I don't know. I was in shock.
Yeah, of course.
They lived 10 minutes away. They were probably there in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
So was it the police at your door, or was
two
it
police from Santa Clarita Sheriff's Station?
Okay,
at
and
my
did
door.
they just sit there and stare at you and not say anything?
They waited until someone got
So
there.
you had 5 minutes of hell, knowing something horribly wrong happened.
Right.
But them, I get it's procedure, but at the same time, wow, that's got to be
my
intense.
mind was spinning.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just thinking, what has happened?
Yeah.
And then it got worse because it was another 2.5 hours of them just asking me questions, trying to find photos of everybody, trying to get a hold of Sean's boss. You know, they needed to get a hold of people, and I couldn't understand it at the time. But
so were they? So obviously, jumping ahead a little bit, there was an accident. We'll get to that.
That's what they told me finally when my parents got there. There had been an accident,
but they didn't tell you it was him because they were trying to identify. Oh my gosh.
They had.
I know I've heard this story, but I don't remember. I don't know if I remember that.
So there was 3 of them involved on the boat. And I think at that point, that's why the sheriffs were talking to me so much, is they hadn't been able to connect with anybody else. And so they were trying to identify who was who to notify what had happened, because one person was in the hospital, 2 others had passed.
Right.
My husband being one of them.
Right. But at the time, you didn't know that.
I did not know
you
until
just knew
2.5 hours
You just knew there was an
later.
accident. They believed he was probably one of them.
Right.
And they were asking you questions to try to help put the pieces together.
Yeah.
And at the time, you didn't know if he was in the hospital, gone, or maybe not even on the boat.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously, everything got figured out.
Yeah. And, you know, it's so weird. I'm very good at sharing my story and sharing memories of us, but I don't share that day often because it was so traumatic and I try not to think about it. So that's why we have the tissues. But the best way I can describe it is, you know those scenes in a movie where someone just falls and they're screaming?
Yes.
I remember doing that and hearing this noise, and I was just like, what is that? And I realized it was me. And I just kept thinking, this isn't happening, this isn't happening.
Kind of an out-of-body experience.
It was horrible. It was just like, this doesn't happen to people, right? This is stuff you see on the movies, or it happens to someone else. And the fact that I was living this, it was, and then it was like what do I do now, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was the hardest part. And I'm just so glad my parents were there. My brothers, I have 2 brothers. They ended up coming over during the whole questioning too. And I just remember the sheriff's department being so sweet and so calm. And yeah, my dad said he knew instantly something wasn't right. But yeah, just a horrible experience. I wouldn't recommend it on my worst enemy.
No. Nobody wants to go through that. And, you know, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And you know, I know it doesn't get easier for you because I've heard you tell a version of this a number of times, and I know you can't get through it. It's like when I talk about my mom in her final moment, and I do a talk where I, you know, talk about when I lost her, and it's a different story. But every time I tell that story and I do the presentation, I'm like, I'm going to get through it this time.
You never know.
No, I just did it. I just talked about it 2 weeks ago, and sure enough, there I am blubbering like a little kid.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on that because you have made something amazing out of it. And, but so there was that night. And then when was it actually confirmed that you knew it was Sean and he had passed in that accident?
So it was that morning. They knew it was him 100%, not only because of the photos I'd shared, but he had had In-N-Out burger shorts on. So, which I kind of laugh about now because he used to call me his little burger boy and he loved In-N-Out. So we knew without a doubt that that is one of the things I struggle with is they wouldn't let me see him. So we were not able to like physically confirm him, but they had told us because of the accident, nobody wanted to see their loved one that way. Yeah. So here I am at 38. I'm widowed. It's not something you ever think is going to happen at that age.
No.
And we weren't prepared.
Yeah.
You know, we thought we had time. You always hear about people getting your wills and your trusts. And I think we were naive in that aspect, you know, and Sean was very hesitant of divorce. So I found the first thing I thought of too was the house. I wasn't on the house. So I knew I was going to have to go through all these things to figure things out on my own. And going from 2 incomes where we lived to 1 income, I was very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. And I didn't have a lot of resources at my age.
And just the planning was not done.
No.
Yeah.
Very unprepared.
Yeah. So 2 quick lessons here I don't want to pass over.
Yeah.
One, doesn't matter if you're married for a day, married for a week, get things in order.
Yes.
You know, put together a binder with everything and just put it aside, hoping you'll never need it.
Right.
But I've done a lot of this.
Yeah.
And I know you've been through a lot of this now. And I think people think, oh, we'll do it later. Or I don't have enough money. I don't need to do it. We don't have enough stuff. It's just a conversation you need to have. And 100%. I know it's a tough one.
Yeah.
None of us are going to leave here.
No.
We're going to, you know, so it's something that's going to happen. So I think that's lesson number 1. No matter where you are, what stage in your life, anything can happen, whether it be illness, injury, death. You just never know. And then the second lesson is, if you're boating, just pay attention.
Right.
Don't drink too much. Your husband would still be here.
Right.
If the other boat that hit him, a much bigger boat.
Yes.
If they were paying attention and if they were in a better space and better place. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. But if you're a boater, boat responsibly. I've grown up boating.
Yeah.
I've had some seriously close incidents with my kids on tubes, and my cousin's friend lost his son and a friend that were tubing in a boat, drunk, just ran right over the tube. So these things do happen, and it's one of those places where you don't need anything to get a boat other than the ability to pay for it.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know what they're doing, and unfortunately you lost your husband because of it. So let's just stop there for a second and safe boating. Okay, so can we go to a happier place?
I love happy places, yes.
Yeah, okay, we got through it.
We got
through it. So you are now doing some amazing work to help others.
Thank you.
And I want to go into more detail on that. But how did that start? So I know, again, when we met, it was 2 boxes of these.
Oh, yeah.
It was just...
Easily. And you were so sweet.
I appreciate
and
that.
Just knowing I could trust someone. Money was not my strong point. Sean was the money person. And I didn't know what to do. And not knowing who to go to. I watched a lot on TV. There's some weird things out there. But so many people recommended you, and just knowing I could go in and talk to someone I can trust, but then just meeting you and you being so sensitive and so open and very vulnerable to what I was going through. But like the way you described things too made me feel safe that I could do this and have a place for this money with like his pension and stuff. I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it's confusing.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's tough. You know, when I work with somebody, everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, too many people just run through it and motor through it. And you have to be sensitive to what each individual is dealing with. And
I agree.
You know, different types of people. So I was happy to be there for you. And this isn't a commercial for me, but I appreciate it.
No, you're a big part of the story. So thank you.
Yeah. So you got through that stuff.
Yes.
And there was some trying things. We're not going to get into all the details. But there's some stuff on top of it.
Everyone has a journey, yes.
There's some stuff on top of it. You know, this happens, it's horrible. Then all of a sudden you're like, wow, friends I thought were friends and family and this, and it just gets weird. And then everybody's telling you what you should do. Everybody's telling you how you should feel. Everybody's telling you it's been long enough. Everybody's telling you. And that gets overwhelming, I imagine.
It is. There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
And that's how I started the group. So I was at a point where I needed a grief group. I wanted to find like some kind of counseling that would help me. And there's a lot of programs with the churches that are great and they can help people. It wasn't working for me. Okay. I think with me, I was struggling with my religion at the time. I was questioning, why him? Why is this happening? So I was trying to find a community at the time, and I wanted something kind of laid back where I can meet people like me and help each other. So I came up with the idea of doing a dinner group.
Okay.
And I just put it out there on the Meetup app.
How long was that after?
That was about 2.5 years afterwards.
Okay, so it
took some time because I couldn't find anything that could help me.
So you weren't looking to start a group and change the way people go and deal with grief. You just were trying to find somewhere that and realized there wasn't the place.
No, everything I tried just didn't seem like it fit.
Yeah.
Or I felt sadder when I left. And so that's why I was like, well, let me try a dinner group, and see if that'll work, you know. And
so you contacted other widows and said, hey, let's all hang out and have dinner.
I basically threw it out there, and it was so great because the first meeting we had 9 people, and then consistency is great. I feel like any kind of plan you have to be consistent. Mm-hmm. And to me, I went in thinking, even if one person shows up, I'm going to be so grateful.
Right.
And every month, new people came. They were coming from all over. It wasn't just my little town. People were driving 20, 30 minutes. And I suddenly realized really quickly this was a lot bigger than myself. And friendships were forming. Seeing people go through their journeys, because I was like 2.5 years in at that point, just seeing people sad and like every meeting showing up with a little bit more of a smile, a little bit more pep in their step. They always tell me I'm helping them so much, but I don't think they've realized they're helping me,
right?
With my own grief.
So the people there's no restrictions. It's not new loss. It's any time that you're still dealing with grief.
Yes.
And loss and that type. So there's some people that have been 20, 30 years that they still need support. So it's all different levels.
All levels, all ages. I don't have a religion affiliation. If you've lost your partner, you're welcome. And it's true, because even though some people are in the group, they've even remarried, but they still find the need for this community.
And it's not just widows, it's
widows and widowers.
Yes,
I have men and women. Yes, I wanted it to be very specific that it was for both.
Yeah. Now, do you do some just for ladies and just for men, or are they always?
We've always kind of mixed it together, and it's worked out really nicely. And the reason why I like that too is I've learned so much from the other widowers, just getting a man's perspective of what they've gone through. It's really interesting, and just to have those conversations. And some of them joke they miss their wives nagging at them, and now they have a couple of wives to nag at them. So we've just become like a fun group to lean on each other. So yeah, it's been very nice.
So what's different specifically in what you were going to that didn't work, and what you have going on? What makes it special, and why are people attracted to it?
I love that question. So a lot of people have actually told me they like that it doesn't feel like a grief group.
Gotcha.
They feel like it gets them out of the house.
So you don't come sit in a circle and say, hi, I'm Bronwyn, and I lost my husband, and I'm going to be okay. And
we come and we hang out, and we just have conversations. And maybe sometimes during that conversation, we'll be like, hey, I just have to go through probate right now. And they'll be like, oh, I have this person, or, oh my gosh, the plumbing in the house is broken now. I don't know how to fix this. My husband used to do this stuff. And then we commiserate like, oh yeah, I miss how he can't just come fix this light bulb for me, or he can't just do stuff around. So it just starts the conversations of us sharing memories.
Okay.
And I think people like that it's not a set format.
It's not a structure. It's just lighter and easier. Back. You're not going through 12 steps or anything weird like that. You're just letting it be what it is. And you can
cry, and you could feel whatever you're feeling without any judgment, because we've been there, and I think they find comfort in that.
Okay. Yeah. So now you started with 9, and then it's grown and it's grown. And I know I spoke at one of your events, and I think there were 40, 50 people there or something. And now you're doing one tonight?
I am. So
here in Orange County. So you've
it's
expanded.
Amazing. Yeah. In 3 years, we have not just our Santa Clarita branch. We had to do a San Fernando Valley branch because people were driving from the valley, and it was just hard for them with traffic. And then someone reached out to me in Orange County. So now we're doing an Orange County meeting, which is fantastic.
Okay. So how many people would you say are involved now? You started with 9.
Yeah.
How many are you touching regularly now?
We have about 200 members that kind of rotate back and forth. Yeah. And it's growing every day.
Are there little subgroups that are popping up out of it?
Sure.
I'm sure there's little coffee meetings, and people are making friends. And okay, I'm going to ask this question. I didn't even think of asking this, but I want to put it in there now.
Yeah.
And I don't know the answer.
Okay.
Some of the questions I know the answer already. I don't know the answer. Have any of your participants, widows and widowers, connected?
There's actually been one couple that kind of connected. Yeah. So one of my good friends, she actually does a unsolved murder mystery podcast. She was bowling because she got into bowling after she lost her husband just to get out the house, and met someone, and they were like teasing each other about him being a ringer or whatever. And he was like, well, if you hate this so much, why are you here? And she's like, well, I lost my husband. And he's like, well, I lost my wife. And she's like, oh, well, my friend Bronwyn has this group. You should come sometime, thinking nothing of it.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks later, he showed up, and they have been talking ever since. They've been dating for 2 years now. They just moved in together. And it's just this beautiful little relationship that probably wouldn't have started the conversation, until she had a little leeway into about the
very
group.
Cool.
Yeah.
So there was when I was at that one event, there was something there that I thought was really, really cool that I think is probably different than other groups.
Okay.
One of the people that you had speak has actually remarried.
Yes.
And it was a firefighter.
Yes.
And then she ended up marrying another firefighter that she met years before. It was really kind of interesting.
She has a beautiful story.
Yeah, full circle story. But I love that she's there.
Yeah.
And she's not discounting what happened, but she's also able to tell the story of moving on, but still never forgetting her husband. And I think that was pretty cool for the people there.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's probably mixed emotions. A lot of people, I don't know if people feel jealous or any resentment but I think that gives you hope that you can move on. And I love that you're not just, okay, let's all sit around and cry about our losses.
No, and we don't have to.
And you're bringing in speakers and resources and trust attorneys. And again, I spoke on finances and stuff. And so I love what it's turning into. And I know you didn't sit there one day and go, let me see if I can create this giant organization. But now you're about to start talking to attorneys and accountants and figure out how you turn this into something real.
Yeah.
So do you have a dream? Do you have a goal? Where do you see this going?
I do. It's turned into something bigger than myself, which I love. We don't always know what kind of story we're going to have. And I think if you can take what you've dealt with and turn it into something beautiful and something with purpose, I always say that I live more intentionally now because of what I went through with Sean. And I'm noticing the need of community. I'm noticing the need for helping widows and widowers who aren't always in a good financial situation. So we're now at a point where we want to make this like a foundation or a nonprofit because the need to keep helping people and the need to do more conferences like we did where we can just share our stories and help people, it's becoming bigger than, I imagined. And so I like using resources like this because that's what I want to do. I want to create a foundation where short term we can do more events, but long term be at a point where we can help someone who needs to make their mortgage that month or needs help to find a good attorney and maybe they need that down deposit, So just having a safe space for people to come and be able to grieve and know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
These next steps and these next chapters are so difficult. And there's a lot of moving parts. Every story is different. Everybody needs something different. And I think if we can create a safe space for that, that's my ultimate goal.
I think safe space is important. And I'll just say this, and this is horrible. In my world, there are people that do what I do, financial planning, that buy lists of names of recent widows, and you can actually categorize it by approximate net worth.
Wow.
And they target widows, especially widows, especially older ones,
right?
In the generation where the man usually took care of everything.
Sure.
And they know, hey, there's a whole bunch of money. Here's a woman in distress. Here's a woman that's probably lost. Let me go in and act like I care. And I'm. It sounds like I might be exaggerating. I'm not.
No, you're absolutely right.
There's different levels of it. So I know that there is a need for various services where, like you said, you didn't change a light bulb. I mean,
no.
So it is what it is. And many women can probably build a house. I'm not discounting, I'm not saying,
just
it's
no.
it's just, but there's probably some commonalities there.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I know that you're in a place where you're vulnerable and you don't know who to trust sometimes, and everybody's telling you what to do and who to do. And so I think it's great that you're putting this together. And I want to get into your kind of objectives here, but I want to ask you two questions.
Yes.
Exact opposite questions, because I know everybody says, "This." What was the best advice you got, and what was the worst advice you got?
Ooh. I like how I have to think about this. So I think my best advice I ever got was don't rush into any decisions until the first year, if you can. And that helped a lot because I think you're emotional, you're panicking,
It's
and
important.
just making rash decisions.
Yeah.
Like I remember doing laundry the next day, and something simple like laundry, Jerry. Like I'm just upset about it because I lost his smell. You know, like his clothes. So not rushing into anything was best advice. The worst advice I had, I don't know if I got bad advice, but I had weird comments made to me.
That's probably more of it. And people are well-intentioned.
Yeah, and that's why I try to take it with a grain of salt, because it's like, knowing I've probably said stupid stuff in the past for things I haven't experienced. But one of the weirdest things, I shared this at one of my meetings, is, you know, oh, you're so lucky you didn't have kids, you know? And I was like, okay, whoa. Like, I don't know how that makes it easier, but I guess their perception is like, you don't have to do this with your children, but we were trying at the time, you know?
Well,
and
and if you did have kids, now you still have kids.
Okay,
so I don't.
So you know what I mean. But for me, that was like hurtful because that was something we were struggling with our whole marriage, was trying to have a baby, and now that was taken away from me completely, you know. And then the funniest, weirdest thing someone told me was, "I know just how you feel because I lost my cat or my dog," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay,
okay, yeah." I get. So
it's interesting when people come with, and I'm like, okay, well, I feel almost jealous that that's the worst thing that's happened to you. So, okay.
Yeah. We had twins, and we get a lot of people say, oh, I know what it's like. I have 2 dogs. Like when I had cancer in 21, it's amazing how many people, when they find out, they're like, oh, what kind of cancer was it? You tell them, they're like, oh, my uncle died of that.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Like, but people, they
want to relate. They want to try to feel.
And I'm gonna say something else happened to me a little bit. I'm wondering if this happened to you. Do you find that people distance themselves because they don't know what to do and how to act? I know when I was going through my stuff, and I, mentioned it, there were some friends I talked to later. I'm like, bro, like what happened? He goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
So do you find that it makes it difficult for people?
I think that's why the group has become so popular, and that there's more consistent people showing up. Is there's a lot of people in the beginning, and then as time goes on, they just kind of stop calling, or they stop reaching out. Or a lot of the older people in our group, they find that they always had their married couples, and now that they're not married anymore, widowed, they don't get invited to go to things anymore because they think it would be awkward for them. But we just want to be invited still. We want to have that option. We miss our person, but we also miss our lives that we had, and trying to navigate that is hard. And I think that's why the group's done so well, is because we've had these friendships now where we can still do stuff together, and we're eager to do things because we're lonely and we're bored, and being at home at nighttime is the hardest time for us because that's when things are quiet.
I have a client who recently lost his wife, older, together a very long time, and he said that his friends kept asking, what can we do? What can we do? And he told a couple friends, he says, can I just borrow your wives at night? He said, I don't want anything. He goes, I just want someone to snuggle up to. And he's telling me, he goes, I wasn't kidding. He goes, I don't want sex or anything. I just want to hold somebody.
Want that companionship.
And he said that was the hardest time, is hard. Just being there with someone that he can just hang on to, and the nights are hard because you're alone.
Yeah, my poor cats, I just hug them every night. I'm like, y'all are stuck with me.
Don't let anything happen.
No,
So this has gotten to a place where you either have to, I know you're not going to bow out, and that's not an option, but you have to figure something out.
Yeah.
You're either going to just keep going and be frantic, or turn it into something.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of organizations out there that do great work. Is there anything like this that's organized and effective already that you can model it after? Or are you creating something completely different?
Yeah, there's actually a really popular group. It's called Never Alone Widows. That seems to be doing very well. But they're very Christian-based, which again, but it's not my thing.
But that eliminates a lot of people.
Yeah, so I think anyone who's Christian-based and struggling, they have a really great women's group, and I'm seeing a lot of their activity, and they do a lot of events and weekends away. So I know there's things out there that are around, but I feel like the more we can have, the better, and you just find one that works for you, right? Yeah. So I just want to be another option to people so they don't have to feel alone. And we have some really great core members that are so different and so fun, and I think we can bring a lot to just making someone smile again. So hopefully I can be an option for them to look into.
I love the simplicity of it. Just make someone smile again. It seems so simple.
And so hard at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're now in the place where you're exploring,
Yeah.
creating an actual entity,
Yes.
getting a board together, getting supporters, creating events, fundraising, turning this into something bigger and wonderful, and who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what it could be? So I'm excited to watch it grow. I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm
Thank
definitely
you.
going to stay involved as much as you'll allow me to stay involved.
I would love that.
And help you with the resources I have and people I know. What do you call it?
So we are 4-point widows and widowers.
4-point.
Yes.
That means something. What does that mean?
It does. So we love the river, even though it was something that took him away from me. It was still a very special place in our hearts. And there was a place where we stayed called The Point, and we always loved it. And so when he passed away and I was trying to think of a name for the group, I was thinking, okay, The Point, what can I do with a point? And then I thought about a compass and everybody coming from different areas of life. And
going different directions.
yeah, and it's like, okay, 4 points of the world, north, south, east, west, 4 points, widows and widowers.
Okay, and isn't the compass is in your logo?
It is,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so 4 points, widows and widowers. And is there a website now?
We haven't launched the website, but I've saved the URLs because I had a vision that this would be something one day. But
Is it the number 4 points or spelled out?
FOUR, but we have a very good Instagram account that's up and running, and all our meetings on the Meetup app. So that seems to be working really well for now. But yeah, I think website's the next step.
So 4 points, plural.
Yes.
Say the whole name again.
Oh, 4 point. Sorry, not
Okay, 4 point.
Yes. Widow and widowers.
Okay, so if I go on Instagram, I type in 4-point widow and widowers,
Yes.
and it'll pop up.
You'll see us.
And then eventually there's going to be a website and more stuff and more.
Calendar of events, little fun things popping up.
So if somebody wants to get involved, they just, Instagram's the best place right now?
I would say reach out on Instagram. It's the best place, yeah.
And they can message you for more information, or do you have other people helping you? I mean,
right now it's just me, but you know, as we envision this growing, like you said, we're going to have people to help. We have a core group of 8 of us that kind of help each other out, and we all have different strengths. So I lean on them a lot too, knowing I don't have to take this on myself, but they, you know, they love me as the founder and they support me, and equally I do the same.
Okay. So how about you?
How about me?
I know you're doing all this for all these people.
Yeah.
And I know it's been 8 years.
Yeah. Well, 6 years.
6 years. 6 years. 8 together, 6 years. Are you dating? Are you starting to explore that as an option? Are you open to it?
I am open to dating, but I would love to do it organically. You know, I'm not doing the apps, I'm not doing the dating sites, but I think if that's in my next chapter, I'm looking forward to that. It is hard dating as a widow, just because, you know, knowing you have to share this person.
It has to be someone who's willing to accept that this is still a part of you. It's not like a divorce. We're like, I hate that jerk.
No, and it's not a competition either.
Not a competition.
You know?
Yeah. So someone has to accept that this is a part of your life, and they have to embrace it. And
exactly.
Yeah. And I think just the fact that you're in this place where this many years later you're still so passionate about him, it just shows your ability to love and care. And
I'm a big love bug.
Yeah, I think it's a great quality. So so you're open.
I'm open to it. We'll see what the universe has. And
all right. So hey, if anybody organically
we bump into each other,
wants to come find Bronwyn, I will let you know you have to go through her dad, her brother, and me.
That's right.
For acceptance. Yeah. One of us happens to be Italian and has some ways of
Italian and South African. This is going to be interesting.
Has some ways of getting information out of people.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
So I'm excited to see where it goes.
I am too. Thank you.
I'm excited to be a part of your journey.
Yes.
And it's been wonderful, you know, again, as I mentioned over and over, seeing how far you've come.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no time frame. There's nothing. There's no blueprint.
No, and you don't get over it. You just learn to live with it. So.
Yeah. And again, go back to my mom. I tell everybody, when you lose somebody, it's horrible. Mm-hmm. And time doesn't make it go away, but it changes it. And in the beginning, all you could see was the accident.
Yeah.
All you can vision was the horror. And with my mom, all I can see is that quick cancer. And I closed her eyes. Mm. That disappears. And now when someone asks me about my mom, I just tell the funny stories.
Yeah, the good times.
And it changes from the horror and the horrible things to where all of a sudden you start to remember the good stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's when it phases into a place that makes it even more acceptable. It's like, this was a wonderful part of my life.
Yeah.
not just a horrible thing that happened.
And she would want you to remember that. you know?
Yeah. And with Sean,
Yeah.
you talk about him now, and you don't talk about what happened. You talk about how
No.
great he was and the memories
Yeah.
and stuff.
Or
So
what a pain in the bed he was sometimes.
yeah,
you
and
know?
that's all part. It's okay now. Yeah.
Marriage isn't perfect, and if
Yeah.
it is, I don't believe you.
So I think I don't know if time heals. I don't know if time makes it go away, but it definitely changes it to where it becomes
yeah.
it's part of your life.
Yeah.
It's always going to be there, but it's acceptable, and you can move on with it. So, well, I hope two things happen.
Okay.
One, I hope you find love again,
Thank you.
if it's meant to be.
If it's meant to be.
If it's
That's
not,
very
then you'll
sweet.
just be an old cat lady.
That's true. Who travels a lot and loves her nieces.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And two, I hope you end up helping millions and millions of people. If it's meant to
Feels
be.
good. Yeah, hearing that.
If it's only 1,000 or 2,000 and that's what it's meant to be,
Yeah.
then that's what it's meant to be. If it gets too big and it loses some of what it's supposed to be,
Right.
hopefully you can control that.
I would love that.
You know, and remain as effective as possible in the mission you want to do. And it doesn't just get so big and overwhelming that it gets tainted,
100%.
you
Yeah.
know, and that's hard. So hopefully it works out, and hopefully you can get what you want out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm along for the ride in any way I can, and here to help, and just
Thank you.
love you and everything about everything you're doing. And, you know, sorry this happened.
Yeah.
But, you know, what's our purpose on life? You know, your purpose wasn't to lose your husband.
No.
But your purpose now is to help people get through stuff like that. And I love that you've transitioned from horrible into amazing.
Right.
Yeah, and enabling and helping and teaching and all that good stuff.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
definitely helping me too. So.
Yeah. So anything else that you want to say to end this? Come visit us.
Yeah, just lean on the people you trust. You know, like people who have been there for you are there for a reason. And then sometimes people show up in the most wonderful way. And I feel like I don't always believe everything happens for a reason, but there's timing for everything. So just pay attention to that and lean on people so you don't have to do this alone. So
Yeah, you're not alone.
no,
You're not alone. And
I'm so thankful that I'm not.
Don't push people away just because you don't think they've been
Yeah.
through it and they understand it. There are those people
That's true.
that can be there for you.
Thank you.
And I always say this too. Remember, everybody means well.
100%.
So even if they say something like, "Oh, my uncle died from that,"
Yeah.
or
Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah.
"He's been gone a year now. You should get over it."
Oof, yeah. That one's hard.
They're all well-intentioned, and you kind of have to accept that and just take a deep breath and say, "Thank you for that information, and
Yeah.
I will get back to you later when I'm not pissed off at you."
That's a good tip. Yeah.
Okay, Bronwyn, thank you so much for
Thank you,
sharing your
Jerry.
story
Oh, thank you.
and sharing what you're doing. And anybody watching, if you're interested or you need this or you know someone that needs it,
Yes.
reach out. And you can be a part of the growth of this. And
Yeah, we'd love to
all
have
the
you.
great work. And maybe we'll see somebody at one of the next events. So
Love that.
thank you, Bronwyn. Appreciate
All right.
it.
Thank you, Jerry.
See you soon. Like, share, follow, all that important stuff. We have great guests like Bronwyn here sharing wonderful stories. It's not just all about me like other shows are. Thanks, Bronwyn.
Thank you.